So when did you begin taking CBD? Like, when was the first time you took your first dose of anything? Was it a tincture? Was it a gummy? What was it?
No, it was a tincture. It was
Tincture.
tincture, yeah. So me and Clara, my wife, walked into the vitamin shop down the road, and
Okay.
they had this display on CBD. I said, you know what? Let me try that stuff. I mean, I have
Yeah.
muscular dystrophy, and they can't even figure out which one I have, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I figure I need all the help I can get, right?
Yeah.
And a year and a half ago, I broke my leg and my back,
Mm-hmm.
and I forever have um, aches and pains after I try to do any kind of little exercise, especially a
Yeah.
little bit heavier. But I feel that I need to do occasionally, at least once a week, at least a little bit heavier. And then, like, my freaking shoulder would hurt, my hip would hurt, my knee, it's like, so I'm
Yeah.
constantly, it seems like every half hour to an hour, I'm flipping from the left side to the right when I'm in bed.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm 62, so
Okay.
I need to get up and go to the bathroom to pee once a night,
Yeah.
every,
Normal.
every night, normal, once, not
Okay.
twice, once. And then I'd go back to bed and I'd lay there. And I'm like, oh, geez, I mean, your mind's always on something, even if it's nothing significant. You're freaking dwelling on something. And sometimes I would lay there for what seemed like an hour.
Yeah.
Since the CBD, after a couple of days, I realized, geez, my shoulder's like a lot better,
Yeah.
and um, and I'm falling asleep faster, and I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep after I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is golden. That is life changing for
Yeah.
me, right? Those two things. Number one, the recovery,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Issue aspect of it, and the re-falling asleep was a major positive side effect
Yeah.
in my mind, because I don't even remember reading what all it was going to do for me, but everything on the list it did for me, and then some.
And then some. Okay. And then, so how long did it take you to feel the effects? Like, when did you start noticing, wow, my shoulder
Couple
doesn't
days,
hurt as much?
couple days.
A couple of days of
Yeah.
consistently taking the tincture. Okay.
When I do, I'm a very consistent person. I have my routine, right?
Yeah.
Time
Uh-huh.
I get up to the time I go to bed. In the morning, after I do my little exercise, stretching, and I call it exercise. Yeah, it's
Yeah. It's a form of exercise.
pulling in the other direction. So yeah, it's exercise for me.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'll get up, and before I start dressing, I'll do 2 half droppers equals
Okay.
one dropper,
Yeah.
and let that sit under under my tongue for the next several minutes until it just kind of dissipates, right?
Yeah.
While
Okay.
I'm getting dressed, because it takes me longer than a normal person to get dressed.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And that's due to you said something earlier, you have muscular dystrophy, right? Can you
right.
just break that down a little bit? What exactly is that?
Um,
And how does it affect you?
well, it's like, this is obviously not bothered by it, but my forearms are like gone, right?
Yeah.
For this, I should have a half a monster, at least a half a monster forearm, and look
Yeah.
at how thin my wrist is. I have long
Yeah.
fingers, but I can go around my wrist 1.25 times, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
so it's not every muscle that's affected. My calves are as good as anybody's, as big as anybody's, but my quads are gone. My stomach muscles are affected, and who knows what other muscles or
Yeah.
muscles throughout my body. But that right there puts a big limit on everything I do. And
Yeah.
and lift. So my stomach muscles um, help to lift my legs. So
Okay.
I have issues with that. So imagine going through the day having a hard time, or just only being able to really lift your leg and hold maybe 2 inches,
Yeah.
right? I can
Uh-huh.
get higher chair, but I can't hold it. It drops back down.
Gotcha. And
Well,
then,
I use my arms to get up and down out of a chair. I got to use my arms to put my socks on, to put my compression socks on,
yeah,
to put my knee pads on. I wear knee pads forever. It helps when I do fall forward. It helps me to keep the skin on my knees a little bit. So
yeah,
it helped in many ways with that also. Everything related,
yeah.
that I just went through.
Okay. And then you also said that it helped a number of other things that you weren't expecting that weren't on the list per se. So what are one or two of those things that you noticed that you weren't expecting, but you kind of caught on to?
In general, it took me a while to realize there's also other issues related, like, certain people at work have changed and therefore caused me less stress additionally, or that plays
Okay.
into it too. But
Yeah.
I'm calmer
Okay.
throughout my day. I'm
Yeah.
more calm.
Wow.
I didn't realize that for a while, but then after a while, I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I really think so, and it's a little of this and a little of that, right?
Yeah.
And then also, I'm 62, so my reptile was a little bit dysfunctional. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
all of a sudden, I'm waking up at night. And like my kickstand's down, and this is made out of cast iron. I'm telling you, it's like I'm telling you,
Wow.
I don't have to
Yeah.
draw pictures or anything, right? That's
No. I mean, so that's pretty crazy when you say that because I have done a lot of research and that's one of the things I actually did not come across. Like I never
well,
saw anything on any sort of ED or anything like that.
yeah, it's not what I'm taking it for primarily, but it's another very positive
Yeah.
side effect.
Yeah. Very cool.
And like everything else, prescription or non-prescription, natural or not, it's going to affect everybody different a little bit, I think. So it may,
Yeah.
and people may not notice,
Yeah.
maybe if a guy, whatever age, has no issues with that to begin with, it's
Yep.
it's it's not going to make it bigger or better necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah. How long have you been taking it consistently? How many years about now?
it's been right about a year.
Oh, okay. So just 1 year.
Yeah,
All right. And you've already noticed all these effects. That's
I
pretty instantaneous if you
you
ask
know
me. Like,
the muscle thing I noticed first,
yeah.
right? When all of a sudden, I feel better. My
Yeah.
shoulder's not bothering me nearly as much.
Yeah.
And then secondly, the sleeping thing. I didn't realize right away it's got to be the CBD because I'm not doing anything else new,
Yeah.
you know.
Are you taking the CBD before you go to sleep as well, or just purely in the morning?
No,
Just in the morning.
it's 300 milligrams, I guess in the bottle, and it
Yeah.
says to take one full dropper. So it's hard for me to get a full dropper out in one shot.
Yeah.
I just do two times a half under my
Okay.
tongue first thing in the morning. That's
Wow.
what.
And it's helping you even sleep. That's pretty crazy because I know
Yeah,
some people take it specifically to help them sleep. So they're taking it more, closer to the time of, going to sleep or whatever. So that's crazy to hear that it actually helps you even when you take it in the morning, it helps you sleep through the night.
yeah.
So that's
Um,
great that it's been that effective for you.
it's wonderful, and I have just people I come across. If they mention anything that touches on what we just spoke about, I'll
Yeah.
say, listen, life changing for me. Keywords life changing. I
Yeah.
started taking CBD, and you want to give it a try, man. It is, for me. I'm 62. I have certain issues, and it has real. It's not going to cure my muscular dystrophy, but it so helps me with so many things related throughout my day. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I had the idea to try it in the first place, because I'm
Yeah.
not big. Number one, it's not prescription. If it was prescription stuff, I wouldn't. I'd probably
Yeah.
never tried it.
Yeah. People who, have insomnia and other things, they think that it won't help at all. Or people that have anxiety think, oh, that's not going to do anything. But it's like until you really try it and you I mean, for certain people, I'm sure like you have a condition, so it might help you a lot more than the next person. But giving it a try actually would isn't a bad thing, as
Yeah,
long as what's on the bottle is what they say is on the bottle. Then from
yeah,
what I've learned and from my research, I've noticed that like there aren't many, cons to it. There's only pros. It only can help,
yeah,
can't hurt,
yeah.
so that's great to see that it's helped you in that way.
And there's so much stuff out there. I mean, you walk into the vitamin shop. There's got to be 18,000 different things that people take for different you
Yeah.
know, ailments or whatever. And I just happened upon that day and they had the display. So that's how it started with me. And
Yeah.
that is my wife's done the marijuana cream and the other stuff has, I don't know, cocaine in it or whatever, whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it seemed to help her. And again, it's not like I'm getting high, but I don't care what it's made of. It's natural and it's doing certain things for me. And another thing, I I concentrate a little bit better.
Yeah.
Still have a lot of stress in my life. No, number one because of my muscular dystrophy,
Yeah.
which just you know affects everything throughout my day, beginning to end.
Yeah.
And it adds stress. So being that I'm a little bit calmer helps me
Yeah.
to concentrate a little bit additionally.
Yeah. Yeah. It all kind of plays into effect at the end of the day. Like if you have less to worry about in your body, then you
Yeah,
can concentrate more on something that takes more time and effort, and then you're not really because
yeah,
when there's one less thing, it helps.
yeah,
When there's one less thing bothering you, it helps. Tony, this was
yeah.
great. Thank you
I'm
for sharing your personal experiences with
I
CBD.
just I just wish it would do one more thing. It grow hair on my head. Every day I'm checking.
Yeah, that's a $1 billion product. Whatever can do that.